So hello and welcome back. We're going to now start looking at something called squaring binomials. Now, to give you a recap of what squaring is, that's very easy. Whenever we square something, we multiply it by itself. So if I asked you what is 2 squared, you'll tell me that's 2 multiplied by 2. If I asked you what's 4 squared, you're going to say that is actually 4 multiplied by 4. And you'll give me an answer of 16. You'll give me an answer of 4 over there. If I asked you what is heart squared, you'll tell me that is heart multiplied by heart. Okay, these hearts need to be identical for this to work, but I think that that is close enough, right? Okay, so coming back to squaring binomials, what we want to look at over here is things that look like this: a plus b all squared, right? Remember, what this really means is this is my base and this is my exponent. So I need to take the base and I need to multiply it by itself so many times as the exponent. So I'm going to say that's a plus b multiplied by a plus b. Now in the previous lesson, you've really seen how to actually multiply this out, and you said, well, it's that one multiplied by that one multiplied by that one, then this one multiply, and this one. So very easy, right? Okay, so I want you to take a moment and just quickly work it out like this and see what you get as the answer. Okay, so I hope you paused the video and then worked it out, and then found a suitable answer. So let us do it together as well. That's going to be a times a, which is a squared, and b times b, which is the last one over here, is going to be plus b squared. And then we can say, well, okay, this one over here, let's do this one here first. And let's just say that one there is plus a times b, and the second one over there is going to also be plus a times b. Right, so now you're sitting with AB and another AB. Well, how many ABs do you have? That gives you certainly 2 ABs. So I'm going to say that's plus 2AB. It's exactly like saying chicken plus chicken, or apple plus apple give you 2 apple, or chicken plus chicken give you 2 chicken. So AB plus AB give you 2AB. Very good. Okay, and this is equal to a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now, what I want to do in this lesson is I want to actually show you squaring binomials. Firstly, we're going to do it the long way, which I'll call the definition. And that's what you've just seen over here. That's the long way to do all of these things and then get this. Then number 2 is the shortcut, right? And it's very important that you learn the shortcut, because it will teach you to start seeing things in this manner. When you start seeing that it's that, and this is the double of, that's 1 and that's 1, so 1 times 1 is 1, and this is double 1, which makes it 2. And if you see that variable and that variable put together like this, you start seeing a pattern. And that's what this lesson is all about, using the shortcut and seeing the pattern, because it will help you later on when you have to reverse these processes. And then finally, the last thing I'm going to talk about is a pitfall and common errors that learners make when they have to square binomials, right? So for now, that's the basic intro. In the next video, and we just looked at the long way, I'm going to quickly bring up 2 more examples where we did, where we bring up 2 examples with the long way, and then I'm going to start talking about the shortcut in the next video, and then finally the pitfalls. Okay, so let's square this binomial. It's going to be x plus 3, which we can say all squared, or x plus 3, the entire factor or bracket squared, right? So what does this really mean? Well, you already know that this means you've got to take the base and multiply it by itself the number of times according to the exponent. So this is going to be x plus 3 multiplied by x plus 3, right? And what does that give you? Well, according to the long way, we say this must be that times that, which is x squared, that times that, which is positive 9, 3 times 3, and then this here is positive 3x, and this one over here is positive 3x. Now, you're going to start seeing a pattern very soon. This must then be x squared. 3x and 3x, it's like 3 apples plus another 3 apples. That's going to give me 6x. And this over here is plus 9. Okay. Very easy, very easy. Now, when we're going to do the shortcut, what we need to start seeing is how to move directly from this to this. Okay, so that's the first example. I'm going to come back to this page. The next one is the following. 2a plus 3 all squared, and that is equal to the following. That is equal to 2a plus 3 multiplied by 2a plus 3. And let's work this out. Let's do it the long way again. 2a times 2a, 3 times 3, and your bottom side is going to be 3 times 2a and 2a plus 3. Okay, so let's look at this. Okay, so 2a times 2a is actually 4a squared, because 2 times 2 is 4 and a times a is a squared, and positive times positive gives me a positive number. Then 3 times 3, and which you can see I'm writing it at the back, the last one is going to be positive 9. Then 3 times 2a is actually going to be 3 times 2 is 6, and it's positive times positive, so it's positive 6a. And then another one, 2 times 3 is positive 6 and a. Okay. Can you see a pattern forming already? That's 4a squared, that's plus 9, and then you have 6 and 6, that's going to give you 12, 12a. Remember, this is the long way, and I don't want you to use the long way. Whenever you see a binomial like this, you must use the short way, because it's going to help you later on. Okay? Once we teach you the short way, you're going to see how to move from this, skipping this and going all the way straight into this thing over here. Okay, so I'm going to come back to those two things, and let's do one more example. In this example, we're going to take x minus 5 all squared, right? And we say that that is really just x minus 5 times x minus 5. And what do I do over here? I say, well, x times x is x squared. 5 minus times a minus is a positive, and 5 times 5 is 25. And then I've got 5 minus 5 times x, and I've got another minus 5 times x. And that's going to give me minus 5x. Minus 5 times x is another minus 5x. Okay. And now all we have to do is we have to just add up the like terms, and we say, okay, well, there's counting x's and there's counting x's, so this must be x squared. Minus 5x and another minus 5x is going to give me minus 10x plus 25, right? Okay, so that's a wrap up on the long way. Next video, shortcut, and then the video after that, well, in the same video, we'll talk about the basic pitfalls and what to be sure to avoid.